So, Gigi, how we doing?
Welcome to the podcast, Gigi.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
There we go. So, all right, Gigi, give like a 30-second elevator pitch. Like, who is Gigi? If you are in Dubai or Abu Dhabi and somebody comes up to you and you're like, you know, are you like, who are you? What's your story? Give us a little bit of background.
I love the Dubai Abu Dhabi part.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Gigi, also known as Gianina Skarlett, which is my full name. My background is I used to be a software engineer, and I came into crypto Twitter in 2021, but I've been investing in Ethereum since actually 2017. And yeah, I came in kind of like as an educator. I've been doing a lot of content that relates to education within Web3. I also trade. I'm a venture partner with a fund. I focus on investing in infrastructure, tooling, and consumer apps. And yeah, I would say like the mix of creator and builder in the space.
A little bit of everything.
There we go.
To see it. I've seen some of your older like software engineer content. Was that when you came into the like crypto space? Did you always know that you wanted to like kind of continue creating content, video content, and like pushing that through, or was that something that like you found later as you were in the space?
No, yeah. So when I came into the space, it was kind of one of my best friends said, hey, you should do what you're doing on Instagram, which used to be called GG Codes, with crypto, right? Because in early 21, there was so much misinformation and so many people joining the space that didn't really understand the space. Obviously, I brought more of a technical background to it, which, you know, later I come to find out that you have to really translate and speak the language of the DeGods on Twitter. But yeah, I always wanted to help educate people, and that's how I came into the space.
That's very cool. So what was GG Codes? It was like you coding?
It was all type of content about me coding, how to work in tech. So for me, my focus with that content back then was to kind of show that the barrier to entry is actually much lower than people think for tech jobs. And I was teaching people all of the opportunities that they had within tech just through Instagram. And some may be able to find my cringy coding videos teaching people how to code.
Hey, we've all done some form of cringe content at some point. How did you get into coding?
Yeah, Marc still does it.
Oh, please. Your entire existence is cringe, so you fuck out of here, Sonny.
Damn, that had a nerve.
Guys, why don't you just kiss already?
We do in public or in private.
Oh,
public is crazy.
That too. So yeah, how did you get into coding?
So I started coding when I was 16. I've always been, I always had a focus that I wanted to, you know, have a really good job because, you know, I'm from Venezuela, and I kind of always knew like at some point I'm going to have to take care of my family, right? Like things are not okay there. So as a young person, always had that in mind. And I would always research like top jobs in the US, all these things. And I think through that, I got targeted. I got a targeted ad for Codecademy, which is how to code. And I just started like, you know, doing that on Codecademy. It was really fun, and I kind of just fell in love with it and continued coding for fun when I was 16, and eventually that turned into my full-time job.
That's super cool. What were you coding when you were 16? Like, did you make your own website or like what?
Yeah, I would do like websites, and they have projects, so I would just follow through and just do the projects that they had, and then, you know, eventually, like, I didn't even know that was a job that I could even get. So I would just do websites for people, and I would just be pitching, doing websites. But it was selfish because for me, it was really fun as well.
See, when I was 14, I came out with Colcer.com, and I went. Do you remember those sites where you could put like you could basically download the script to like game files and stuff like that? And so I had all these like different games that everybody would do, like Kitten Cannon and like all these different games, whatever. And so I put like 30 of them on my website and then put Google AdSense all around it. And so then what I did is I went to like the computers in our libraries at the high school, and I put that as the home page for all the computers. And so
MarcColcer.com was the home page for all the computers.
For like maybe like 2 weeks before they caught on to it, and they were like, we have to take that down. But I was making money from all the people playing the games on my website. And so I think I made my first grand like doing that when I was like 13, 14. So yeah, coding grind. I respect it. I never really got into coding. I was doing like whatever was was like the cheat codes to doing all that back then. But that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So
I was selling chocolate bars. That was my business.
Yeah. You were the kid outside the grocery store?
Oh my god.
Outside the grocery store? No.
You never had those kids come out?
No, you got to do it when you're at school.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I did that too. Actually, this is a terrible story.
Oh God,
this is a terrible story. I'm gonna get canceled telling this story. So there was these when I was probably 11, probably 10 or 11. There were these kids who were selling like the suckers that went to like those big suckers like I don't know the large suckers and
we know
and they were selling them to raise money to go on a mission trip. And these kids were making a ton of money. And I was like, damn, like they're selling these like crazy. Everybody's buying them. They taste damn good, whatever. So I was like, well, why can't I buy them and sell them? And so I go onto the website and it's like, it's only for people who are doing fundraisers. And I was like, all right, Marc Colcer Foundation of America.
No way.
This man.
So
fundraising for yourself.
So I get them shipped to my house and I was a little bit more popular than these kids. So when I started selling them the next week, they stopped buying them for the other people, and they started buying them from me. And so the principal calls me into his office. He's like, Marc, what are you doing? And I was like, free market. Like, not free market. I didn't say that at 11, but I was like, I don't know, selling suckers. And he was like, what's your foundation? I was like, the Marc Colcer Foundation of America. And he's like, that's not a real thing. And I was like, I really just want an iPod Touch.
Oh my God.
And I had made like probably $500. And so he was like, you have to stop selling them. Like, that's not like, you can't be doing that. And I was like, all right, I'll stop when I'm done, when I'm sold out of my supply. And so I had another like week and a half of it, and probably made another grand. But yeah, and they hated me. The group was very mad at me for
I mean, shit. Why?
He stole their grind. He stole their grind.
Yeah.
Literally stole their entire business model, and you're not even doing it for a good cause.
Well, Marc
For
Colcer
his iPad, though.
for
That iPad.
not even iPad. Those weren't even out yet.
Okay.
For the
iPod Touch.
Did you get that iPod Touch?
I did actually. I was one of the first kids to have one.
Oh.
Flex.
So then you flexed on everybody.
Hell
buying
yeah.
an iPod
Hell
Touch.
yeah. Look at
Rogging people
Marc.
since what year?
So then when you got into crypto, what like enticed you by that?
So actually it's so nerdy, but what really enticed me into crypto, so like I mentioned, I started investing in 2017, but it was kind of just that. I've been a really long life follower of Gary Vee, and because I used to do e-com and all that like before, like just on the side for fun, and he started talking about NFTs. So I think it was end of 2020 when I started learning about NFTs, and I always say like NFTs are cool, but the initial selling point of NFTs, which was bragging rights, wasn't really something I cared about. Because again, like I'm from Venezuela, like the last thing I care about is like, oh, I own this, I own that. Like I don't really care about that. So I thought it was cool, but I sent that over to my best friend. I was like, yo, like you love to brag, like you should get into this. And because he's like a hypist. And eventually he comes back to me and he was like, oh, I need you to take this course because I need you to build something for me. And at the time, I'm working with my previous company. I'm so busy. I'm building products for like Instacart, Upwork, and I'm a lead engineer for my company. So most of my days are like 15-hour days, and sometimes we would do even 24-hour days where like we're just trying to ship something as fast as possible because these companies are really big, right? And when Instacart hits you up that they want a product, you're not like, oh yeah, like let me come back to you in 2 weeks. You're like, okay, we have to do this now. So I'm so busy during that time, but I'm also very competitive, especially with my friends. And he's like, oh, we're gonna do this competition, see who finishes first, whatever. And that was when I was okay. Let's do this competition. So long story short, that ended up being a course that I think a lot of people will know. It's called Crypto Zombies, and it was like one of the first at least courses on how to kind of like build the ERC-21 contracts, which as we know are NFTs, and use them in a way that could be like a gaming game, like a gaming game with like NFTs, right? So I'm learning how to build this, and I don't know Solidity, which is the contract that it's teaching you, but I do know TypeScript, I know Python, I know JavaScript, like all of the other things. And if you're an engineer, like it's easy to pick up other codes. And for me, it's like actually really exciting that I'm learning a new language and that I'm good at it just because I know all these other things. So I'm like so hyped going through this course. And that was kind of what got me really interested in not only investing in crypto, but participating in it. Because for me, it was like, oh, wait, like NFTs are not just this JPEG on the blockchain that I can brag about whatever I own. It's really code. It's like literally code. So you can do so many things with it outside of just bragging rights. So the technology was really what got me really interested in it, which is so funny because people are always like, oh, I'm in it for the tech. But for me, I really did get in it for the tech. And then I joined crypto Twitter, and there weren't really a lot of women in it, but I started trying to socialize with the women that were in it. And some, like one of my best friends that people don't know is G Money is actually someone who's been my friend since before crypto. We met in 2017. And I talked to him about it too, and he also got me really excited. So going into crypto Twitter was really when I started connecting with people that were interested in this niche of the internet that I was also interested in. And then also seeing how, you know, people didn't really know much about it got me interested in creating content that was educational back then.
Very cool.
So I feel like, I honestly feel like Gary Vee definitely deserves his flowers a bit for that, like early on, because I think a lot of people, like the first time they heard about NFTs, the first time they felt comfortable, like even checking it out further or anything like that was because he kept just like putting out videos and kept just like talking about it. But to that point, were you a part of the like the NFT like bull market then? Like were you buying and trading NFTs at that point? Were you like making any of your PFPs? Were you participating in that way, or was it like simply on like the more token, like DeFi investing, like that sort of thing?
I did all of it. I got so wrecked in like my summer, so wrecked. Like all those high yield staking where like the APY was like 3,000%. And then the websites would rock you before you could even take your money out. Like I did all of that. But actually, so I started participating in the space. So I bought some NFTs, some stupid ass NFTs, like literally stupid ass NFTs, got into some discords. They were all super like bro culture dominated. And for me, I was like, there has to be something more. So at that time, I think I discovered probably like Crypto Chicks or like World of Women. It was like a women project. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And that gave me the idea that I wanted to start a project myself that was focused on women in tech because, you know, that's my niche. And there wasn't really a project that was like niched down like that. So after I started participating in the space, I decided to start my own project called Crypto Tech Women. And like the name is so funny because it's so literal. It's, you know, women that are in crypto or tech. And with this project, the main goal was to launch an educational platform that would have master classes for people to learn different things. So I started building that project in September 2021. And then we finally launched in February 2022, which, as you all know, was the start of the bear market. So the vibes were kind of off, but we still did it. We launched on February 25th, and we sold out like 24 hours post like the public sale, which was super exciting. And then from there, I coded like our own educational platform and did like over 25 courses for them, partnered with a bunch of companies and like Unstoppable Domains, Brave, and a bunch of people too on creating courses that people could take and get soulbound tokens. And I don't know, like education for me is like one of the most exciting things. So with that project itself, so I would manage the Twitter. So I have my own Twitter, but I didn't really use it because I was always on the project's Twitter. So a lot of the people that know me from like really, really, really like OG, they know me because I would only host from the project. And I started hosting like spaces in 2021, all focused on education. And yes, it's a women's project, but for me, it's like, you know, we have male participants that own the NFTs, and they would participate on our events, and I don't know. So it's like a whole different side of GG that I feel like some people don't know. And then still to this date, Now I'm doing like the no bros allowed brunches, right? And for those, it's including that community and including the women. And for a lot of you may know that I do Bing Bong. And then with Bing Bong, my community always gets precedence, right? Like whoever was in Crypto Tech Women and owns that NFT will get a ticket for free to go to Bing Bong. Doesn't matter.
Kind of intertwine them in pretty much like everything that you're doing.
Yeah, because for me, everything, like we did over 8 events, partnerships with conferences. For me, it's like those are the people that really supported me in my beginning. And I just want to make sure that I can always give back to them. Like it doesn't matter what else I'm doing. I'm always thinking, how can I bring them in? Even with now memecoins, like we have a channel, I drop in alpha and I drop in plays, and we have a a Twitter chat. And I'm like, hey guys, like, do you want to do a call and talk about like this meta that popped up? Like, what do you guys want to do? And it's like, at this point, it's like they're still my friends. I see it that way. Like they are my holders, but we do have a very personal relationship, I would say. And I'm just like, hey, I'm here. Like, whatever you guys want. Like, you guys want to do a space? You guys want to do a private like huddle on Discord and chat about things? Like, I don't know. It's been a really interesting transition.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think, like you really do play a lot of roles in this space, and I feel like me personally, like just viewing you on the timeline, obviously viewing your content. It's like you have Bing Bong, you're doing events, you have the brunches specifically for the women, which is really dope. You obviously are doing all these daily videos now, but even prior to that, you were doing like other like kind of like daily videos, these lifestyle videos talking about crypto, educating people. You're obviously like in working with the investment fund, correct? And so ambassador for like some really great brands as well. Like I just feel like I always see you like everywhere, and I love seeing people that just like play so many different roles in this space. I think it's so important, and I think it's just cool that from an individual standpoint, like you're able to do that, right? Like you have all of these interests and you're able to kind of within this crypto space, crypto life, be able to, put passions and all of that. And like, yeah, honestly, I didn't realize that you had that project, CTW, but I've seen it in your like in the name,
my name,
all the time.
Oh, CTW, yeah. I have seen that. That just clicked.
Yeah. Yep. But it's dope that like you're able to just intertwine everything with that and everything that you're learning in this space, all the advantages that you're able to get because of obviously like building yourself up as a personal brand and be able to like funnel that back. Like salute to you. That's incredible, honestly.
Yeah, I mean it really is cool, and especially knowing that you have like so many different, like Sonny was saying, like so many different interests and so many different ways that you're intertwining it. My question for you would be off that, was it like, I feel like a lot of people when they're in like the coding and the back end of things, they're not used to then like the attention being on them, right? Coding is predominantly like it's kind of in your own room coding, and it's kind of a solo act, right? Now you're on Twitter and you have such like a bright personality and you're at all these events, and I swear to God, I don't think you're in one place for more than like 20 minutes and then you're off to another country, and it's like anytime there's an event somewhere, I'm like, well, Gigi's going to be there. She's just somehow she's going to be there. She's time traveling. She's doing something. And so was it different for you going from like being at your computer coding to all of a sudden now being like more forward facing of, at all these events, showing off your personality, things like that? Was that a difficult kind of transition, or was that like super normal for you?
I would say like I'm definitely different in the way that, I love coding. It's like my first love, my forever love, and the thing that just like gives me so much passion and just happiness. But I've always had a very like forward facing personality. Like before that, I've been a reporter for like CBS in Puerto Rico. I've done some movies that I never want people to find out.
Wait, we gotta find those.
Hold up.
What genre?
It's sci-fi, bro. Like
sci-fi. Is it an international movie or
it's U.S.?
Okay, it's U.S.
Are
you in Star Trek?
What year?
I don't want to talk about it. It's so bad. But
we're about to find.
We need to find.
It's like I've done so many different things, but I will say this: public speaking was something that, since I was really young, I would be really, really scared about. So coming into Twitter, like doing spaces, like oh my God, I remember I would just want to die. Like I would be on a stage wanting to die because I would be so nervous, like my hands would be sweating. And that was something that when I was an engineer, before I started my Instagram, this was like before the pandemic. I remember I lived in the Bay for my job, and I was like walking down, to my office. I saw a public speaking training center. Yes, those exist. A public speaking training center. And I'm like, perfect. I'm going to do that because I'm really afraid of public speaking. Like, I'm really good in closed rooms, but public speaking would scare me. And I grabbed that card, and I was so excited to get into my trainings to be a public speaker, because I created this goal that I wanted to speak at like 8 conferences by the end of the year and about software engineering. And that same week, COVID happened, and then everything is closed. And in San Francisco, everything was really closed.
The Bay
right?
was so bad. I didn't know you lived in the Bay for a while. That's sick. I grew up there.
Yeah, because that was where our office was at, and it was so bad. So then my dream of becoming a public speaker and losing that fear was like, oh, well, I guess it's kind of over, because no one wants to meet up with anyone. And I had the idea of doing it online, but I wasn't really that motivated to do it online. And I kind of just pushed that back. And then eventually I just decided I was going to start my Instagram and do it that way and just talk about tech and lose my fear through doing video content, which is really scary for people. Like, people love to mock others, but they don't understand how for some people it's really hard to even record those videos. Like, it's a fear for some. So for me, it was. And then at that point, as I'm doing this content, then I started getting offers from like Intel to go talk at their online conferences, and Women Who Code, and all of this organization started messaging me. And that was actually my first start. But then crypto Twitter coming into a whole new industry and doing public speaking was really hard, right? Because you're always afraid. At least I was always afraid of saying the wrong thing, sounding stupid. These spaces used to be so big. It's like old guys, and they're all so cool. And then I'm here like being so nerdy. So it definitely took me time to feel comfortable to show my personality. And it literally took me 2 years. 2 years. When I started in crypto Twitter, one of my good friends he gave me all this advice. And he was like, you need to show your personality. You need to stop. Because he saw how I was behaving. He's like, you're acting like a little weird. He's like, dress how you dress. He's like, it's okay. Like, like you're a woman. Like, you don't have, because I would be like wearing suits. Like, I was over the top with it because I was really, I don't know. I was going through it. And he would be like,
finding yourself, right? Like, by having a voice in
I just
space.
wanted to be so serious and be taken seriously. So I was being overly serious. And he was like, Gigi, like, you have to be yourself, because we lived here in LA. Like, he see how I dress and how I talk. But then in crypto Twitter, I was like a whole different persona, because I was trying to be taken seriously. And it wasn't really until I would say 2023 that finally I was like, you know what, like, I'm tired of like being this over serious persona. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to dress how I dress. And you know what, whoever doesn't like it, doesn't like it. And it ended up being the thing that really propelled my brand, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point as far as like just finding yourself within the space, because I think there's so many times, like, I even remember when I was like first like on this path of just like growing my account and just like wanting to kind of make that a goal and like do content. There'd be times where I was like, am I putting this content out and it's like authentically like for me too and like my voice, or am I trying to like keep up with like either what's in the space or just like trying to, I don't know, like talk like somebody else is talking or tweet like somebody else is tweeting, because it's like that's what's getting engagement and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I think you just kind of like, as you go through that, you figure out, okay, like this is actually how I want to like, show myself on, on crypto Twitter, how I want to build my platform, how I want to be like genuinely myself or whatever. And you only get that by like going through the actual motion of like hitting record on the camera or like actually tweeting and just putting tweets out there and like going through it and actually doing it. And then through that is where you're kind of like figuring yourself out as far as what works, what doesn't work. And I don't know how even you want to be perceived in this space, I guess.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But I think like now I've been seeing a thing, and this is what I think. The people that are more authentically themselves are the people that usually will have the best ROI when meeting people. I don't know, like when you really meet people like Mika, like Thread Guy, who are just, you know, very, very like they show their personality through and through like all the time versus people that are more shy. I think people find it easier to connect with those people that are just out there and they don't really care. They're unapologetically themselves. Like, so I think it's really cool. And that's something that a lot of people that are coming in should just, you know, like stop trying to act like the next whoever, like just be yourself and just like really
lean into the shit that you like. Yeah. Lean into the shit that you like for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely way too many people that like, I don't know, at the end of the day, like showing off your personality in the space is what makes the space interesting, right? I mean, it's like, there's a reason why none of us are out here like, you know, talking or making as much content about like trading Apple stock. You know, it's not nearly as fun. Like this is far more fun. We have a lot more fun with it. The content keeps it fun. The events that we go to, the fact that like most of us have seen each other in like 5 different cities minimum, right? And it's like that's a really cool aspect of our space. And so with that, showing off your personality becomes a big part of that. And like with this truly, and I tell people all the time, like normie friends, like you can be whoever the hell you want to be in this space. Like you don't have to dress some type of way. You don't have to act some type of way. You can say whatever. You can do whatever. Like, and as long as like you're a good person and you're, you know, mildly entertaining, like people genuinely will like your content and want to support it and things like that. And so just feel like this space allows you to be whoever you want to be when traditionally, especially when it comes to things like coding, it's like people don't really show their personality as much with that, but you can still show off your personality in this space and then also show off at the same time your technical knowledge and things like that. You can bring different expertises to the table here and you don't have to be, some people are more technical than others, some people are less technical than others, but like the language that we all speak in this space is like it's different, and you can speak it in a way that like makes sense for you, whether you're talking about making meme coins or whether talking about like the marketing of a meme coin or whether talking about the, you know, kind of the, you know, coding behind a NFT or somebody who's talking about trading NFTs or somebody who's talking about the art behind NFTs. Like there's so many different languages that you can speak in this space. And I think it's cool that like whatever language you speak or whatever like your expertise is, there's going to be people that want to digest that content. Cause like coding stuff, yeah, I can't technically understand. Would I be interested in like seeing somebody, you know, create something? Sure, but I can't understand necessarily if you're talking about like Python or whatnot. Like that's going to be in one ear and out the other. But somebody else is going to be like, I want to dive more into that. I want to learn about that. And that's the cool part about this is like there's something for everybody. So
100%.
Now with that, are we going to get you to swap that ETH for Solana? How are we feeling about that?
So I actually do have a big position in Solana. So obviously ETH is still my biggest position, but last year, you know, just seeing how the timeline was going about it. And to be honest, actually, funny story, my brother, who is not in crypto, technically, he bought Solana at like $3. And he was like trading Solana. And I'm pretty sure he saw it on YouTube or TikTok or something a long time ago. Like this was pre-FTX. So he's been talking about Solana. And then the more that I've been, you know, becoming friends with people in the space, the more exposure I've gotten to seeing other tokens and other communities. And last year I decided, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, take a big percentage of my positions in ETH and just go into Solana. And I like, that's probably the worst thing I did because I didn't do more. Right. So yeah,
hindsight always sucks.
Hindsight. No, but no, I do. I participate in Solana, and I think it's funny because for some people it's like, oh, like Gigi's like an ETH girl, or Gigi's not not, it's like she can't be considered Solana, like a Solana girl. And I'm like, dude, like why do you have to do one or versus the other? Like I've done things in Ethereum, I trade in Solana, I do, like, why do you have this whole like percent like I'm a Solana OG? Okay, good job. Like I don't know, do you want to meddle with that? Like okay, dude, like I feel like the narrative kind of detracts other people to wanting to join the ecosystem when like people are acting like they're like this whole like I'm so elite. Like okay, you could be elite and you're an OG and you have 100 SOL, and then someone else comes tomorrow and buys 1,000 and they have more SOL than you. Like it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's like that's the one thing that I see across like ordinals and SOL, and everyone's like
the little
fighting
like,
each other.
Like cult like following
Everyone's
behind
fighting each
both.
other.
Yeah.
Oh, you're into Ethereum now. You can never be a Solana person. It's like bro. Let just people literally.
Yeah, we're
do whatever
like way
they
past
want.
that. We're way past that.
Let
We're on
people
this
do whatever they
multi-chain
want
shit.
and literally trade whatever they want and just enjoy. Like, I don't know what's up with all this like shaming.
We do have
feel that.
the territory, kind of nature of the space has gotten better, at least in the last like year or so. But like, thank God we've gotten past that, because there was just such a weird.
No, they're trying to say Gigi's not a Solana girl.
I've
She's
heard it.
a Solana girl.
They're like,
You know what I mean?
you do ETH, right? I'm like, bro, like it's 2024. Like, let's like. And the funny thing is, like back then, like in 2020, I was trading like. DeFi summer was like AVAX, was like BNB, like all these tokens that were like not even.
You're a profit,
You know,
maxi.
it's
You know, like
I mean, I just
As you
enjoy.
should be.
I like participating in the meta. That's it.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't know.
Are you trading meme coins right now?
I trade too many meme coins.
she trading.
What's
meme
your
coins.
strategy? What's your like?
My strategy, to be
Spill
honest.
your secrets. Let's
Okay,
hear it.
I'll say this. My best strategy has been holding. That my biggest rewards have been from everything I've held, not the things I've traded. Like you trade, you're always trying to time the market, but in reality, you're never gonna really time it, and you might get a good percentage like by selling when you sell, or it might go to zero, right? But like the things I've held have done the best. The thing I've sold, I've regretted the most, right? Like GMC was something that I was holding a big position. I got more when it was completely dead. And then eventually, as I was trading into other meme coins, I was like, okay, this one is not doing anything, has no movement. Let me sell to rotate into something else, because, I do have positions that I consider as my rotation coins, and then I have others that I hold, and then I have SOL that I stake and whatever. So I sold GMC, and then the week after, Roaring Kitty comes back. And then I lost. Yeah. And again, It's like I had no need to sell that, right? At that point, it's like zero or hero. I had no need to sell that. I just sold it. And then I missed out on way more profits, right? By selling early for no reason at all. So, yeah, I think like my best strategy right now is just holding things. And this was actually something that a friend of mine told me. So not taking credit, but we were talking about trading, and he's actually someone that, is in the 7-8 figures from meme coins. And his strategy is buying into a bunch of tokens, whether it's CTOs, like he's done really good with the CTOs, when they're dead. Like a token dies, buy 1-2% of the supply, and then just wait. And that's been his best advice on how he created his wealth. When he used to be a big trader and lost a lot of money trading, missed out on a lot of money trading, the most money he's made is buying 1-2% of that supply and just waiting out and see what happens. So that's kind of my strategy right now. But I do have fun plays. And when I say fun, it's like the most gambling thing. And it's getting on 5-minute plays. And, you do that with your friends and you go on Memescope. And
all the cat
you're
coins.
just looking at whatever's launching right now, and you throw money in and then you take it out and you keep doing that and rotating. But that's not really anything that's serious. It's more like, I said that's just for fun.
Yeah, fair. Are you more likely to go in with size and do to a coin, like throw like 100 SOL into something that's at like 50 million? Or are you more likely to throw in like 2 SOL on a bunch of like 100K market cap coins?
I was doing that initially. I was doing the 5 SOL, 10 SOL into very like 60,000, 200,000 market cap coins. And while they can work, I do think you need to, or you should have a balance of both. So I will go with size. But like the point of it is like always go with size. That's it. Obviously, if you don't have size, then you need to work up on whatever's your size. But what I've seen is that if you're not going in with size and then something hits, you're just like, what? Like, oh, I 3X. Now I have one more SOL,
Yeah.
So, but you also have to work to a point where you have that money to lose, because it doesn't mean it's going to go up if you put it there. So I've seen people on the timeline say, no, I'm now Ubering, and everything that I make while I Uber at night, I'm putting it into meme coins and stuff. And I think that's actually pretty smart, because, it's like you don't care about that money. It's disposable money. But for some people, they don't have that luxury. So if you don't have that luxury, definitely, I would say go with safer bets, right? Like go with those coins that are at higher market caps, but are less likely to get rugged than the early shit. Yeah.
I always say too, if there's somebody that has like an outward personality in the space where they are like openly like talking about a coin on a regular basis and stuff like that, I'm like, well, I'll just ride their coattails. Like, let them pump my back. So if there's somebody who's made it their personality, cool. I'll buy the shit out of that coin and just let them do it for me at that point. I'm like, I don't have to think about it. I can just go to bed and let them figure it out. They got far more size than I do. So it's always a strategy that works for me. But
100% shout out Ansem.
And Ansem's like straight up like changed the way the whole space operated in the sense of like, you know, and it's crazy to watch how you see somebody kind of start a meme coin bull market to all of a sudden then they're also being the people that like the people who are posting like Ansem's going to end up in jail. And I'm like,
so stupid.
Why are you like, you know, one, nobody's 100% correct on any of their takes in this space. That like we haven't figured that out by now. I don't know what to tell you. And then from there, it's like the guy got most of us into meme coin trading in some way or another. And so how can you be mad at that? Because I feel like for the most part, we've all had fun doing this. I mean, it has been a far more entertaining, like the actual like crypto market in itself has been incredibly boring the last like 6 months or so, but yet meme coins have still made it exciting and have given you the opportunity to make more gains than you would have if we weren't talking about meme coins. So I'm like, how can you get mad at Ansem? If anything, he's made the space more fun and has given you more opportunity to be profitable. So I'm like, I don't really get how you can be mad at that. Like, sure, are certain coins not going to 10x overnight? Like, yeah.
Look, people are mad if you do or if you don't. That's the story. So
people are just mad if you're making
people
money
are just mad.
and they're not.
I think people are just mad.
That's it at the end of the day. That's
I think they're just mad. That's it. They're just mad.
Yeah.
Just some miserable people.
Yeah. And we talked about it on this podcast before, but it's like you just have to forget quickly your biggest L's. Like we have them often. We talk about it, we text about it, whatever, or certain times you sell something and then it 10x's overnight and you're like, you know, why did I sell that? There was one, I mean, okay, what was the one that popped off? Bane. I sold Bane I bought Bane at 17K market cap. And I put it in all my group chats, everything like that. Like, hey, Bane, I think this one's got some legs, you know, whatever. It went up to like 300, 400K. I was like, oh, that's a great, you know, profit for me. Cool. I'm going to take profit there. It ran to 6 million. And I was like, my original bag would have been worth like 300 or 400 sold. Right. And it was like, all right, sick.
Again, like buying something and holding it. That's it.
Now, you also
You're a hero.
Right. And that's the thing you have to keep in mind is that so easily could have gone to zero. And so I do always tell myself, like, as long as you take some profit, you can't be mad at it. And, like, yes, there are going to be some that you lose on and things like that. But, like, I'm never really mad about a coin that, like, you know, I sell it and it does go up afterwards. Because I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, it so easily could have dumped from there. And then you would have been like, damn it, I should have sold at that point. So it is what it is. When I make a sale, I forget about it. If it tanks, if it goes up, it's like it is what it is.
No, you don't. You don't forget about it.
You just remembered it.
You literally, we've talked about at least 4 different coins. We're like, fuck, I could have had more if I just held on to it.
But I don't, it's not like I don't dwell on it because I know you're a day or two away from the next one. Like, it's like we've seen time and time again that like you're not far off from the next big opportunity that you have. And so I'll say it and talk about like, oh shit, like this one went up like crazy, whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, I mean, again, if we were 100% accurate all the time, we'd be billionaires. Yeah, so sure. It's like we're not because the space is hard and because there's geopolitical aspects of things that you have to think about. And there's, you know, I got to worry about Japan just raising their interest rates, 25 basis points. Like, you know what I mean? It's like those are things that I'm not thinking about on a regular basis. And so there's stuff that's outside your control.
That's on you. Like we think about that all the time, right?
All the time.
My biggest thing is like telling people take out initials. Right? Yeah. Like, as soon as you get that pump, if you are someone who that money, like, means something to you, maybe you went in with a lot of size or whatever, you didn't, but it still means something, just take out initials. And I always take, like, a tiny bit on top. That's it. Yeah. But, I don't know. I think, like, those trading will have you lose your money faster than holding something.
100%. The Bane one, though, I had people sending me screenshots, like, all the next day of like one guy was like, bro, I made $100,000 off you. And I'm like,
you're like, great.
I'm so excited for you. I was like, dinner is on you and my next 6 months of rent. Nah.
Damn, just always looking for a handout, Mark, or what? Like,
Nah. But if they want it.
I feel that.
What do your I'm very curious. What do your parents and like friends not in the space think that you do? Do they know?
My mom just knows I'm in crypto, and she knows that I left a good job. And up until last year, I would just hear it every 2 months,
all the time.
every 2 months, like, Gianina, why would you leave your software engineering job? Why?
I feel that to my core.
It's like all the time, and I was just so annoyed at I'm like, Mom, you like actually have to let it go. You have to let it go. So she doesn't know. She just knows I'm in crypto. She knows I travel the world, and that's pretty much it.
And she's happy for you.
Yeah, she knows that if Ethereum goes to zero, it's really bad for me. Okay. So,
well, but she doesn't know about your large position in Solana.
not yet. But she, whenever like Ethereum would like pump, she would send me a screenshot. She's like, "Is this good?" This is like when ETH went down to like $800.
Oh damn!
And then it would pump a little bit. And she's like, "Is this good?" I'm like, "We're still really down bad, Mom. Like I'm poor right now. Like I don't want to talk about it." And then my best friends, they also know I'm in crypto. They know I trade some things, so I've gotten them to buy.
Okay.
I've gotten them to buy some things. But yeah, not shout out to Easy, who was like max shilling AVAX. So I got everyone to buy AVAX. I bought a big position in AVAX, and it's down so bad. So I take that shout out back.
Wow.
Damn, easy.
Damn
Come on, man.
He was so bullish on AVAX. I was like, okay, let's do it. And yeah.
He's going to double back to this video and give us like a 5-minute breakdown of why he's so still bullish on AVAX.
I'm waiting
for the next
that.
year.
Pump my bags, Easy. Pump my bags.
Easy has a way of saying things that I just believe everything he says.
100%.
Yeah.
I think he was like max talking about Solana. I was like, I'm going to go in Solana. And then he started talking about AVAX. I'm like, fuck it. Like, let's go into AVAX.
Well, he's 50%, right?
Yeah, 50. But no, so I got my friends to buy some Ethereum, some Solana, some AVAX, and then other tokens. And some of them really would love to trade. So they're like, they want to trade. They just don't have the time. And they have like IRL lives and jobs. We wouldn't know what that, is like. And then like my little brother also has Solana, and I hired him to do kind of like admin work for me, and I would pay him in Ethereum. So, I've been like building his portfolio up. So they don't know exactly what I do. They just know I do a lot of things. And then the things I've heard that other people think I do, because they just see me traveling, and I heard I have I'm like the girlfriend of like a super famous soccer player.
Oh, word.
I don't even have a boyfriend. I'm like, where the fuck, where do these people get this information? But
you're like, he wouldn't even understand this lifestyle.
Yeah, I went to my friend's hotel, and everyone was like acting a little too nice, and she was like, oh yeah, they'll think you're travel so much because you're like the girlfriend of a famous soccer player. I'm like, where do they get this information? So everyone just has their different perspective.
Marc he spreads a lot of rumors. I don't know if he was also behind the famous soccer player one, but like, yeah, he just spreading rumors on the back end of crypto.
Yeah, I've been telling people that Sonny's really good at basketball, and like I gotta be honest, I'll come clean. It's a lie. He's terrible.
You just Photoshop it to look that way.
Yeah, and so I gotta be honest. Like, I gotta stop telling that lie, Sonny, and I want to apologize formally to you on the podcast. I'm sorry I've told people that you're good at basketball, because that is a lie, and you are hot trash.
I'm glad I got to see this moment.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Can we hug it out after the podcast, though?
No. This might be our last podcast. Gigi, thank you so much for joining us on this last episode.
It was really something. Your technical analysis.
It's just been really just driving it home,
Oh, Gigi,
Can we just put like a chart right here real quick?
Yeah, Sonny, can you just go like this, and then we'll start
So right here,
the TA
we're
here.
going higher.
Yeah, so it's like Sonny's like, okay, so here, right, we've got ourselves a bubble, right? So we're gonna go
We're
higher.
in the banana zone. We're in the banana
What
zone.
is the banana zone? Everybody's
banana
talking about
zone.
the banana zone. I'm like, so is it we just dip it up at some point? And
You've never been in the banana zone?
But is the banana zone different than a parabola?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I Googled earlier today, parabola. And I was like,
I was about to say, I was like, something tells me he literally just looked up that word today.
Because I was saying parabolic about something, and I was like, I just want to make sure it means exactly what I want it to say in this context. So I was like, let me Google parabolic, which brings you to the definition of parabola. And then I was like, that looks a lot like what I would assume the banana zone is. And so are we just making new terms? Is parabola and banana zone the same thing, or am I just imagining things? But
now I'm wondering.
This is Mark's technical knowledge.
Let's see.
Maybe the parabola is the banana zone.
Hey, Siri, is the banana zone and a parabola the same thing? Siri, let me know. Nope, she just brings up, hey, Siri, would you like a banana? That is not what I'm looking for. Anywho.
Your own phone doesn't fuck with you.
No. Yeah, but okay, so Gigi, what's like your goal in this space? Like let's go realistic goal like a year from now. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do next?
That's a really, 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 really good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I believe that right now I've done kind of like a lot of the things I like to do, and everything that I do it because I like it. And I think that's one of the things that keeps me motivated in this space. I really don't do anything that I don't want to do. It doesn't matter how much you want to pay me. It doesn't really matter. It's just
I love that for you.
It's just like happiness has always been at the top of like my main goals in life. So as of now, I'm really enjoying doing my events. I love doing the women-only events. And I know for some women, they're like, oh, it's too cliche, like women, blah, 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 blah. But for me, it's like, hey, I've been in the position where I've had relationships, romantic relationships, where my partner would never be okay with me going to an event that's 99% men. And I, as a woman that loves my partner, don't want to put my partner in that position either. And, you know, if me being in this industry, I can't go to these events because, you know, maybe my partner doesn't feel comfortable. He's not in the space, but he wants me to go to this conference. Then I might miss out on meeting all these people just because I really respect my partner and I want to make him feel good. And I've been in that position before, and I feel like that is a perspective that people miss with the women-only events. It's like, yeah, maybe you don't care, and maybe your partner doesn't care, and maybe you love being with the guys. But there are women out there that, like, they have partners. They don't want to be in those positions with, like, so many men. Their partners are not here. Maybe for whatever reason, they don't even feel comfortable being in a room with, like, old adult people that are in Web3, whatever. And I don't know, it's like building those or cultivating those type of networks is, like, something that I feel really passionate about. And those events are really special for me because I just see women connect, and you know, we have really executive women that come, and we also have newbies that come. And on the last one we did in Dubai, we were all talking about trading, and some of them haven't traded, others have, and they were like, okay, like, we'll connect on Telegram, let me know what channels should I join, or, you know. And I just love it so much because I just see new relationships forming, and then I see them at the next event and they're together, and that actually just really makes me really happy. And then on the other side with Bing Bong is more focused on the culture and the creators and the builders that are tapped into the culture, right? So with Bing Bong, it's also really, really fun because we get to see all of our friends have the best time in one place, and we're the people putting that together. And again, that's also another thing that I would love to scale. So events-wise, I just want to scale the events. So we'll see what happens in a year from now. But for me, it's like, if I can do an event that there's over 1,000 people and it's literally like a banger event, and we're doing dope content, and there's activities and experiences and I don't know, like activations, like in 1 year, I would love to see that through. And then on the other side with my content, like, I think something I did not realize soon enough when I joined Crypto Twitter is that your brand really is a lot of it, right? Like, your brand is kind of everything at this point, and building your brand is one of the things you should focus on. As like, if you're in Twitter right now and you're not doing that, start doing that. So I want to continue to grow my brand, and with that, it means I want to continue to explore my passions. Like, right now, I'm having an amazing time doing things that are relating to meme coins. One is what I do the most. Like, I was doing it before I would talk about it, right? Two is within the meta. I think that a lot of people want to learn about this, but they don't know where to go because, you can see all of the people that are shilling things, but no one's really going in depth about things. And you have the people that go really in depth about things, but maybe they go about other type of coins, right? And we see like the XRPs and all of these people doing like actual analysis, not Sunny's analysis, but like technical analysis on these tokens. But
Sunny's analysis sounds fire.
Yeah, maybe just give me a cut if you start that. But no, like for real, like I think like we don't have enough content about this type of like new things that are happening in a way that is educational. So I just want to kind of double down on content, whether that is on meme coins. And I've gotten feedback. Every time I meet someone and I ask them if they see my content, I always ask for feedback. And I've heard people saying, hey, maybe I would love it if you talk about coins in Cardano or like the ones in ETH, the ones in Base, the one that Zora's doing. And there's like all of these other parts within trading, within meme coins that we just don't really talk about. So I kind of just want to try it all and see where it lands. And then on the other side with investing, like continuing to be able to connect dope companies to funds that can sponsor, that can like fund their dreams in a way, right? Because I was in a place where at some point I wanted to start a company and I had like this whole idea. And the biggest hesitation for me is that I found that industry to be so scary. I did not know how to talk to venture partners. Like I didn't know how to pitch myself and my project. And I was really, really scared about this. And I didn't do it. And now I get to help companies that are trying to raise funds. I get to connect them with the fund that I work with and with other funds as well that I do deal flow for. And I don't know, it's like, I think like I'm a big connector. So whether it's like connecting people to each other, to opportunities, which like for me, content is connecting people to opportunities because they get to learn something. 100%. I don't know. I still like, I think I'm just like a social person. So in 1 year, I hope I'm doing this, but like, like 1,000x.
I think you brought up a good point there too of like when you're talking about, people talking about other ecosystems and like looking at meme coins and other places and stuff like that. Like one of the things that I like doing is I'll buy a meme coin, like a top meme coin on another blockchain to see what the people who bought that early end up talking about. So like, for example, I had never really, like there was that period of time where everybody was talking about Base for a moment. And I was like, all right, what's the top one on Base? Okay, it's Brett. Let me look at the people who were super, super OGs to Brett. And when I started looking at them and kind of found the people that were like really, bull posting the shit out of it, looking at the people who had been super early, I then ended up learning about 4 or 5 other coins that I bought into and made some good money on, right? And so I think there's like so much alpha that you can get by just like paying attention to top leaders of other ecosystems. And I've done that with AVAX, and I've done that with, with Ethereum. I've done that with, so many other different coins or different blockchains and whatnot. And so there's always new information that you can pick up. And there's also like then new people that you learn about that you had no idea really existed on some of these other chains. And so there's just so much knowledge on Twitter. And, whether somebody is building up their brand on Twitter or whether they're just in general, making content or just kind of digesting content and enjoying it and things like that. I think everybody has the opportunity to learn a ton through crypto Twitter. And I think that's one of my like favorite aspects about it is like I've learned, something from every single person that I've ever met in this space. I've learned things from you guys. I've learned, I've learned shit from Sonny.
I already knew he was going somewhere there.
He's taught me the term drip.
And you still don't have any.
Oh, please. I got so much drip. These sweatpants are the drippiest drip.
Yeah.
Just drip.
Yeah.
Shout out Drip House. Shout out Drip House.
Yeah, you can probably edit that out.
Yeah, Drip House is like, Mark, actually, we need you to not.
Not taint our brand.
Yeah, if anybody hits me up, he's like, hey, man, listen, need you to never mention Drip again. Like, no one's going to Drip House after here.
I actually got a message saying that.
Yeah. Shit. That's how I tell my normie friends. I'm like, I have the least amount of drip in all of Web3. It's actually what I tell them.
Yeah. What do they say? We've known that all our lives. Like,
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, at least they're honest.
Yeah.
We're trying to improve Mark's style. It's a very slow process, but like he's bought like a pair of shoes that I was like, yeah, those are some nice shoes. So now he wears them all the time. So it's like, all right, we're slowly getting Mark up there.
Okay, let's go.
We'll get him right.
When did you start dyeing your hair pink?
I started in February.
Okay. And had you ever dyed your hair another color before that?
I mean, my hair was blonde. My natural hair is not blonde, but I actually wanted to do pink hair since I was in 8th grade. I remember my friend that was like, you know, this popular girl, such a cute girl. She like did pink and blonde, and I was like, oh my God, like I love that color, and it always stuck in my mind. And with my other jobs, like I'm not gonna show up to the office, which you can. I did not feel comfortable showing up to my office with pink hair to talk to, you know, the companies we were working with. So I never did it. And, you know, I'm getting older, and I decided this year that I just was going to do what I wanted to do, and I don't care. And, you know, maybe it would look terrible or maybe it would look good. And then I did it. I personally really like it, and I've gotten really good feedback from people. Like, I don't know. It's, you know, I'm doing whatever I really feel good about. And that's what I want others to like really take from this pod is like, whatever that is, like if it's trading, if it's doing content, if it's whatever it is, just like do whatever it's good for you. Like I'm very selfish in the way that I want to make myself always be happy. And at times that comes with leaving an event early or not showing up to an event or saying no to something I really don't want to do, not doing a partnership. Like one thing that I've learned is that you have to really prioritize your own happiness, because when you don't, it's never going to be good, right? Like you're never going to do something well. So yeah, so the hair started like that. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send it. Eventually I'm going to be too old to do it. I don't know.
What like the anti-corporate vibes. I feel like that's kind of like the vibes of crypto for a lot of us that came from like corporate jobs beforehand, and you have to like, I don't know, you feel like you have to assimilate in some sort of way when you show up to the office. And like crypto really does allow you to just like create your own lane, but then like tap into the things that you really just want to do in this space. I think that's like some of the dopest parts that I've seen of like just being a part of this.
100%. If you had to dye your hair another color, what would you dye?
No.
No?
Nah, I'm just, it's like.
You had to. It had to.
Okay,
No.
can I just go back to blonde? Or
No. It's got to be a wild color.
I don't know. I mean, I love like the mermaid vibes is what I call it. I feel like I have mermaid vibes. I'm an island girl from Venezuela, you know, like, so I would say just like some turquoise, like soft pastel turquoise blue or something.
What, Detroit Lions blue?
What?
Turquoise blue, not Detroit Lions.
How about that blue?
No, that's too dark. like that blue.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll take that too. Is there anything else that we should dive into before we wrap this up?
I don't know. We talked about meme coins. We talked about the events coming off of VCon. Yeah, I don't know. What is it in your eyes? What does the term "the dev is based" mean to you? What is a base dev?
Are you a base dev?
I'm a base dev.
Okay.
But I'm not a meme coin base dev. Let's clarify.
How many shitters have you launched?
Okay.
Not more than
on.
you.
Earmuffs. If you do launch one, send us that CA early.
I don't know what you guys are
a
talking
joke.
about.
Feds, this is a joke. All right, but yeah, what's a base dev?
What is a base dev? Honestly, it's really funny. I think like a base dev, anyone that says that is just like really trying to convince the dev to not dump on them. That's it. They're like, the base is dev. Don't dump on me. That's it. Yeah.
That's fair.
It's just a way to give them an ego, I think.
Bro, the dev is base. They're just like,
the dev in his house. Please. Oh, I feel so good. I'm not gonna. No,
they're just like, please, we like you. Don't dump on us. Don't rug us. That's it.
Right as the
I don't know. Like, do you guys have a different definition?
No, honestly, not at all. And it's quite validating that you said that, because it's literally what I think. I'm just like, people just be like, oh, the dev is so based. I'm like, what the fuck does that actually mean? What are you trying to tell? How is that supposed to be a bullish sign for me to buy? Just tell me that the dev is not dumping. Like,
tell me the dev is not even involved. Like that's like
CTO everything.
Guys, I've seen so many chats. So I've like, obviously, like when I do even my my trench really down deep in the trench, like trading, I still join the Telegrams, right? And I check it out. And there was a CTO, or like there was this token I saw, I'm like in the Telegram, I'm looking at the thing, and it was so funny because the whole team was still there. And then the people coming in, because the volume was going insane, the people were like, is the dev gone? And then people were like, yes, this is the CTO. And the whole team was there. And people were like, the dev is gone. Dev rog. And they're like doing the command. And people are just like, dev rog, CTO in place. The whole team was there. But I think like the team was like, okay, let's do like a fake CTO. Because like everyone wants a CTO now. It's so funny. I feel like people, and I've heard from other people, like they're like, GG. Don't buy into tokens where the dev hasn't rogged. Like, wait till for the CTO. I'm like, I don't know that. I understand where they're coming from, because I think last month or last 2 months, we had a lot of tokens that would rog literally within the first day. But I don't think that's like the best advice to give something. Yeah, wait till the dev rogs. Buy the dev. But then we did see that with the celebrity meme coins, right? It's like you had to wait till they rogged, and then you threw something in, and then you wake up and you're like, yo, like Jason Derulo CTO this coin. Like my friend sent one in, and then he woke up with 100.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he CTO, Jason decided to CTO the coin. So then after that, all the CTOs, he was doing the same thing, and he made money every time.
And then Salil started telling these people to tell people it's a CTO. I was like, we've gotten the CTO, ception. Like this
CTO.
This is, yeah. I don't look at a base dev as a thing. I look at it, there's a base team, right? Like when I look at different coins that have done a really, really good job of, just making really cool content around what they're doing. I feel like the two that I see the most right now, I feel like I see Moo everywhere and I see Chonky everywhere. Like the two of those, they've made very cool plushies. They're always at events. They're always doing something. There's always some form of content coming out. And I think like that's an important aspect of, what a project is doing. And so I don't look at like, at this point with Pump.Fun, we don't need a base dev. Like you literally just need somebody, you need a ticker and a dream, baby. That's all you need.
You need some technical knowledge.
Yeah. But if you have a base team around it, then like the people who are actually making the content around the coin, like that's more what I'm focused on. The dev, I want that dude out.
So you want base content?
Yeah,
you don't want a base dev. You want base content.
I want base content. I want a base team. I want people who understand the market. Like that's what I care about. Again, we don't need like what is the dev doing? Again, Pump.Fun. You can be an idiot and launch a coin. Like that should be their tagline. Yeah. Even idiots can create a ticker.
Like around that. I like that. I think you should pitch them.
Yeah, I think they'll go with that for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think the best tokens, and we see this, it's like the people that have the tokens that have the best content, right? Like Moo, I obviously like love what they're doing. And yesterday, like I got like the plushie, and I was walking around with it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like they all love the plushie.
Huge, like it's as big as Marc.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
even going into like like with Mog, the people that are part of Mog are really pushing that, right? Like they're always with the Pit Vipers. People love to do the content. They love to do the poses. Now they have the image generation on their website, so you can get mogged by going on their website. You put your photo in. So today I did like the meme coin daily report, and then now you have others following that same step. So like DMaga also now has a image PFP generation when you go to their website, and you keep seeing that. What I've seen is like successful meme coin teams are focusing on the content, and I think that's really important because not a meme coin, I guess, but like PackMoon. What was the first thing they did? They built a whole Notion doc with memes that people could use, videos, GIFs, like JPEG memes, and they just made it really easy for people to really distribute their content. And that's all you need. Like distribution is a huge thing. So if you can make your distribution their job easier, and who is the distribution? Is us, right? Like the people that are posting those memes and that are tweeting about it. We are the distribution model for them. So if you have to go out and create a whole new meme for a token, you're most likely not going to do it unless you're heavily incentivized because you bought in early or whatever it is. But when a token just has that naturally, and you can right click save. And then one day you have nothing to post and you're like, let me post this meme. It's funny. And then now that community also rates it because they've liked the token too and they want to pump their own backs too. And it's just like, I don't know, like I think with all of this pump and dumps, they forget that content is always king, like will always be king. And I like that Mumu has within their Telegram channel, they have a Telegram channel just for memes. And that's something that I think is like really, really powerful because if you are someone who you are not a creator or sometimes you just want to post a meme, you just go to that Telegram channel, find the meme you want to do because they're always dumping new memes into it. Yeah. And then you post it. And I think if you are, doing a dope-ass meme coin, you're not going to rug it. Like, you really do need to focus on the content. I spoke to the team that did beer and water. Water was like, they had a huge issue. And obviously, I don't know where the chart is at. It went down really bad. But the way that they got to those sales, which is like the token that was advertised by Messi, whatever, they use Instagram, actually. That was their biggest sellers came from Instagram. So I think like 70-80% of their traffic came from Instagram. And it was because they did a lot of content on how to onboard people into buying Solana and into buying on Phantom. So they did a bunch of reels showing people how to buy these things. And again, like, content will always lead. Now, don't rug your people, right? Like, if you're going to do this, put the effort to stay and push this token. But yeah, I'm so tired of like so many pump and dumps, like low effort. No one cares.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, you're not building anything. You're making some money and getting out. And I don't know. I like meme coins. Like, I'm really into it. And I like the meme coins that are really pushing to be a cultural movement.
Yeah. I've seen that like with, most recently there was Fwog, and they've just been like posting a lot of their own like original artwork and just like their own memes or like, to make it look like an actual meme. I think Brainlit has done like something similar. I've seen like PFPs of like the Brainlit, what's it called? You posted one.
Yeah. I'm a Brainlit.
Yeah.
Are you a Brainlit?
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have
He actually was shilling Brainlit in my comment section.
100%.
He was like, buy Brainlit.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out you, pumping my bags. My boy.
I work for my bags.
He was shilling it.
Okay.
But like with them, it's just like, you continue to just see content and people posting whatever, art, everything like that. And not to take it back to DeGods, but in at least the
I was
going to
say,
when
DeGods token?
Well, I mean, our market cap is what, like 55 million right now on our DeGods art token. I don't even know what to call it, but no. To your point of like having a separate chat for like the memes, it's like they're essentially like have been implementing like meme coin strategies. Like obviously like it's no like, I don't know, like secret, like Frank has been in the trenches, like trading meme coins, the team has and all this stuff, but they're actually taking things from doing all that and just like implementing it. And you're seeing like that new energy on the timeline because of that, like starting the Telegram chat, making that their core chat, having a separate chat where people are literally just dumping memes in there all day for other people to post. And then just showing up on the timeline. You know what I'm saying? That's literally almost like more than half of it is just showing up on the timeline and getting your name out there literally every single day in a different way. And I think it's the same thing with meme coins.
Yeah, which is funny because that was like the 2021 playbook, if you remember. Like all of the dope NFTs would literally have like within their Discord a memes channel, and people would do competitions to create more memes, and then people would post those memes, and they would do like social campaigns on Twitter.
Oh my God, memes. OG's calling. Should we answer this live on the podcast real quick?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
We're just getting all these phone calls.
Hey, OG, you're live on the podcast. Anything you'd like to say?
Oh, shit. Wait, what's the podcast?
It's with Gigi.
Yeah, I would just like to say Gigi said I should get a headshot, become a model, and I gotta agree. I feel like the model route is for me. And also, Marc, hurry the fuck up on the podcast. We have a stream to do.
Oh, okay. This is
a stream.
Wait, is that you saying that you want me to take a headshot of you? Is that what you were asking, or is that just?
That's what I'm at. That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Also, I'm right across the street from you, so when you leave for this stream, pick me up.
Oh, wow. So, is there anything else I can do for you while we're at it?
Yeah, while we're at it, go ahead and like send me that soul that like you said you'd send me if I call you while we're on the podcast.
Okay. My bad. I forgot. This is really going to pump this shit out of this episode.
Yeah, of course. Also, Gigi makes the best meme coin daily recaps.
Oh,
there we go. So and who makes the best podcast?
I think that's Joe Rogan.
Okay, OG.
And who else?
And Marc Colcer, baby, let's go!
Wow, no love for Sonny. Sonny, you hear that?
None. I'm not a podcaster.
And Sonny's the president of DeGods, Marc, so he kind of gets too fucked on that one, buddy.
There we go.
OG, okay. I'll take another photo with the new camera. You're good.
There we go.
Good. Real. Let's go. All right, I'll let you get back to it. Peace.
OG. That almost felt like that was scripted.
That definitely felt like that.
Yeah, that was not. Anywho, I guess I gotta go take a headshot of OG. So
yeah. I told him, I'm like, yo, like if you're gonna be in LA, like go get some modeling jobs. So I think OG can be the crypto model in LA.
Wow. Yeah, you know.
It could work out.
I think it could work out.
It could work out for him. We'll see.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna stop.
What were you gonna say?
No. I love OG. I'm not gonna hold him like that.
Do you talk about meme coins on dates?
Me? I can't tell where you're looking. You're with the sunglasses.
Yeah, I literally I can't tell where you're looking.
Both of you.
No, unless one's pumping.
Yeah, I got dinner tonight. Don't worry, my meme coin is up.
Ooh, we're down a little bit. Gonna need you to pick this tab up.
Yikes.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to shill this ticker.
Like, baby, can you write this on your hand?
Yeah. Low key, if it pumps the meme coin. Anywho, we'll wrap up the podcast. Right. We're like an hour and 25 into it.
Well, let me.
Oh yeah.
You know, got to give a gift for our guests. Aww. So. We have.
Oh, guys, I'm going to cry.
100 Solana. Here you go.
Is it 100 Solana?
Maybe in the t-shirt. I don't know.
Oh. Maybe on the t-shirt. Ooh, okay. I wear hats, but sometimes when my hair looks really bad.
That's never. Your hair's perfect.
Oh, Marc,
oh my
so
God.
Sweet.
Guys, you're too sweet. I can't.
There it is.
Cube.exchange shirt.
Shout out Cube.
Shout out Cube.
Yeah, so
are they sponsoring this pod?
They are.
Ooh, can't wait for my cut.
So the cut was the t-shirt.
The
cut was the t-shirt.
The cut is the alpha of if you are buying bundles, getting referrals, depositing on Cube.exchange, you could receive blocks. So make sure you are on Cube.exchange. There you go. There's your alpha.
Stack your blocks.
Yeah, stack your blocks.
I'll stack my blocks.
And swap that archaic Ethereum for Solana on Cube.exchange.
Archaic.
It is kind of archaic.
Guys,
we're out here with the words.
We're hitting 10. We're hitting 10. Sonny did the TA. He said we're hitting 10K by the end of the year, and then I'll rotate. You know,
Ethereum's hitting 10K.
That's what he said in his channel. I don't know.
Oh wow, is that true, Sonny?
Yeah, Solana's hitting 3,000. So.
If Solana hits 3,000, you're never gonna hear from me again. I'm out. I'm gone.
So guys, I'm looking for a new podcast host.
I really thought he was in it for the tech.
Yeah, you know, some people just aren't as real and authentic as us. You know, Gigi.
Yeah.
So
the banana stone is real.
Yeah.
Parabola.
Marc is really just LARPing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's tough. That's
a tough word.
Yeah. Anywho, we dragged this on. So Gigi, thank you for coming on, and Sonny, thank you for providing your technical analysis as always.
Anytime, Sonny's analysis is always there to save you.
There it is. I'll talk to y'all later. See you guys.